Hello Internet, CJ here. So thanks to the wonders of the YouTube algorithm and my particular interests, I've come across a video or a talk by a rather interesting gentleman by the name of, with the interesting name of, Deviant Ollam. He's a physical penetration tester. Companies pay him to basically break into their buildings. This is the gentleman here. Break into their buildings, steal a bunch of stuff, write a report about how he did it, so that they can improve security and presumably reprimand the people involved as well, perhaps in some cases. But anyway, very interesting video, and it got me thinking about this. So what follows is a bit of a public service announcement, basically, because so I'm here in my bedroom, and the point of this video, for whatever reason, my bedroom door has this very common style of a lockable lever style handle set on it. Okay, keyway on the outside, thumb turn on the inside there, and it's a dead latch. I'll explain that in a second. The point of this is that by watching one 40-minute YouTube video, I was able to get, using a technique learned in that video, I was able to get this very, very, very common style of lockable handle set open in about 5 seconds, using a technique I'd never tried before, with a piece of plastic, like just any. I'll show you how it works. But it just scared me, and I thought, wow, this is amazing. I should probably tell people about this, especially, you know, because this is so common. So basically, as I say, it's a dead latch system. So old locks. So here's the lock tang, right? This bit's called the tang, the metal bit that goes into this, what's called the strike plate on the door frame. Okay, that's the strike plate there. Now, old locks, you just had the tang, right, like that, okay, and you lock the door, and then the tang wouldn't move. Except most of those older style locks, like this, handle sets like this, when the tang was engaged in the strike plate, it would still move, and so you could shim the door. You could slide something in and push that tang in and get the door open. The idea of a dead latch is it's got this little bit on the back. This is called the dead latch plunger. And when that's pushed in, so you see, if you push the whole thing in like this, as you would when the door is closed and hits the strike plate, the whole thing moves like that. Once it's engaged, that dead latch plunger is supposed to be pushed in, and if that's held in, the latch tang won't move, so it can't be shimmed. That's why it's called the dead latch. The latch is now dead. It can't be manipulated from the outside. That's how this is supposed to work. The problem with these is that most of them, or an awful lot of them, as pointed out by Deviant, an awful lot of them are installed incorrectly, to the point where this dead latch plunger doesn't get held in when the door's closed, and so you can still shim it. And I'll demonstrate that right now. Okay, so I'm outside my bedroom, in front of the door. The door is locked. Okay. I locked it with the thumb turn on the inside. You could lock it with the key or the thumb turn, doesn't make any difference. It's doing the same thing. What that's doing is locking the handle, preventing the handle from turning. It's not doing anything to the actual lock tang inside, because if the lock was locking the lock tang, you wouldn't be able to lock the door with the key or the thumb turn while it was open and then pull the door shut and have it locked behind you, right? So all this is doing is locking, preventing the handle from turning. It's doing nothing to the lock tang itself. That's supposed to be held in place by that little dead latch plunger that I showed you before, right? That's what's supposed to prevent the latch being manipulated from the outside. But if that dead latch plunger isn't being held in place properly, being retracted, I can take the cover of a notebook like this. Door's open. How long was that? 3 seconds? 4 seconds? Unbelievable. So I'll show you why that works. So basically, as I said before, that dead latch plunger has to be engaged in order to prevent the lock tang from being retracted. What's happening here is that the strike plate was installed too far away from the door frame. So if I pull the door shut, see that bit of play there? basically when I pull the door shut, the strike plate's too far away from it's been installed too far away from the door frames. So the door swings too far forward and the whole lock tang, including the dead latch plunger, goes in, and now I've just locked myself out and left my plastic bit inside. Time to go find another bit of plastic. Haha, kidding of course. I'm not dumb enough to lock myself out of my own room without my keys on me, because I'm not this guy. I'm not an expert lock picker, but you know, here we go. Here's a thumb turn flipper that you can slide under a frameless, you know those double frameless glass doors you see on the front of office buildings, and they have the little latches down at the bottom on the double doors, and you just slide this underneath and twiddle it, and there's so many ways. These lever style handles, you know, under the door, over the door, there's around the side of the door, there's so many ways to get them open. If you're somebody who is concerned about your residential security or is involved in, you know, securing a commercial building for a job or whatever it is you do, if that's part of your mandate, you really should have a look at this video. It's fascinating stuff. There's a link in the description down below. Have a good day. Cheers.